So hello students, we have discussed about the external genitalia of a female, in which we discussed about the Bartholin's gland, and we studied the function of the Bartholin gland is to lubricate the vagina, right? Now the second type of a gland which we are going to discuss in females is the mammary glands. Mammary glands. Now, the mammary glands, it has a paired structure, and these structures are called as breasts, right? So, the mammary gland, it is having a paired structure, right? And that structure is called as breasts, right? So first we have done the Bartholin glands, that is I have labeled over here. Second gland in case of a female is the mammary gland. So again the paired structures, the breast, and the mammary gland shows the presence of connective tissue in it. A lot of a connective tissue is present, right? Then a fatty tissue is also present, right? And next is the glandular tissue. Glandular tissue is also present, right? Apart from this, it shows the pectoral muscles. Where they are located? They are located in the front of, we can say, the pectoral muscles, and next is the between first rib and the sixth rib, right? So this is just a detailed theoretical part about what a mammary gland is having. Now we will come to the structure part. This paired structure, I just told you that that mammary gland is having a paired structure. So I'm taking the structure of a breast. They are two in number. I'll just take one, a sectional view, and I'll show the detail how the whole process or the milk is secreted, right? So if this is the outermost layer, that we can say this is the skin, right? Then this mammary gland, it shows the presence of a large fat tissue in it. So these are, suppose, yes, these are the fat tissues, right? So these are a fat tissue on the both the sides. Same over the lower side also. So breast is, we can say, a circular structure, a very soft tissue, right? And it is having a fatty tissue, connective tissue, and the glandular tissue. So these are the fat, the adipose tissue. Now this mammary gland, it shows the presence of 15 to 20 mammary lobes, right? So one breast is having 15 to 20 mammary lobes. I will take one lobe, and taking an example of a one lobe, we will trace how the milk is conducted, right? So if this is the, let me make it with some other color. So if this is the, this mammary lobe is embedded in the glandular tissue. From the glandular tissue, so this over here is the all glandular tissue, connective tissue, and the glandular tissue all over here along with the fat tissue. So this is the glandular tissue, okay? And this in black, this is the fatty tissue, right? At where it is located, you know that this, just we have discussed, between first and the sixth rib, So if I'm taking the muscular structure, so the muscles, the pectoral muscles, they are present at the pectoral muscles. So these are the pectoral muscles, right? And here is the first rib and the sixth rib, right? The first rib and the sixth rib. And here all the muscular and the muscles, all tissue, all the connective tissue, fat tissue that is present. And this is what, this in blue is the glandular tissue, and the one I drawn over here in the red, this is the mammary lobe. So this is mammary lobe. Now this mammary lobe, it is having, as you know, they are 15 to 20 in numbers. So there can be, there are so many mammary lobes. 15 to 20 number, and just drawn 3. There are so many, 15 to 20. Now this mammary lobe, it shows the presence of a cluster of a cells, right? So the clusters of cells are shown. So these are the cluster of cells, and the sac-like structure, right? These type of a structure, these are called as mammary alveoli or the mammary alveolus, right? So these are in black, these are mammary alveolus, right? Now from this cluster of cells, the alveolus, they will secrete the milk, and they will store the milk in their cavity, right? They will show a, they will give rise to a tube-like structure like this, right? So the tube-like structure is shown by the, which is coming from the mammary alveolus, and this tube-like structure is now called as mammary tubule, right? Now these mammary tubules, they will fuse, right? And they will form a common duct, right? And these ducts are called as, let me make it with some different color so that you may differentiate. So from here they joined, right? So this tubules they join, and a duct is formed, that is called as mammary duct, right? Now this duct, now these are the ducts which are formed by the fusion of these mammary tubules which are coming from the mammary alveolus. Now these ducts, what will they do? They will open into another structure which is called as ampulla. Again, let me make it with some different color. So these tubules, they open into another structure which is called as ampulla, and the function of ampulla is it is going to store the milk, right? Now this ampulla will again shows a lactiferous duct. So this ampulla is again going to open into another duct-like structure which is called as lactiferous ducts, right? And these lactiferous ducts, they will again fuse, right? They will fuse here. This very portion of the breast is deep pink or brown in color, and this very portion, right? This portion is called as areola. right? Deep pink or brown in color. And the erected portion, this is called as nipple, right? So the milk is produced. Now it is into the lactiferous duct, and the lactiferous duct is again going to give it to the another type of a, we can say, a structure that is called as lactiferous, is lactiferous sinuses, right? So now what is the journey? See, glandular tissue. Then in the glandular tissue are located the mammary. Let us write along with how the milk is conducted by difference. So first is the glandular tissue, right? So the glandular tissue, it shows the presence of what? 15 to 20 mammary lobes. So glandular tissue is having the 15 to 20 mammary lobes, right? So these red, the sac-like structure, these are the ML means mammary lobes. Now these mammary lobes, they show the presence of a cluster of a cell, and these are called as mammary alveolus, right? And the function of this is to store the milk or secrete the milk, and as well store the milk in the cavity, in the alveoli, right? In the cavity. Now after mammary alveolus, the alveolus is now going to open into a tube-like structure that is called as mammary tubules, right? So this red colored, all these, it is not possible to draw all, but I have drawn these red colored lines. So these are tubules, and they are fusing now next. So this is a duct. So the tubules will fuse together to form a mammary duct. So again the milk is now with the mammary tubules, and further it is passed to the mammary ducts, right? And through mammary duct, another structure is the ampulla. Ampulla is a little bit swollen type of a structure, right? So it is a swollen structure where again the milk is stored, right? Now after ampulla, you can see these long tube-like structures. So these are called as lactiferous. So these are the lactiferous ducts, right? So the milk is now in the lactiferous duct. Now lactiferous duct, they will again show another structure that is called as lactiferous sinuses, again where the milk is stored. So you can see where the milk is stored: lactiferous sinus, then ampulla, then in the mammary alveolus. So three places where the milk is stored. After the lactiferous sinuses, the milk is taken by the baby by the suckling action, and the milk is released outside. So this is the whole process, how the mammary gland, how the milk is secreted and how it is moved towards the nipple by through different ducts and the tubules. So this is the structure of a mammary gland, right? So we will start with the next topic in our next video. Thank you, class.